Well, this is a classic story of how someone trying to help you out for a hatch escape can make you look like the biggest troll in the world ever. It's a bit of a game of disasters, really, and you could you could really deduce that my early gameplay in this game and how I finished the game is just like the most massive, most outrageous trolling that you will ever see. And I suppose the early stuff, there's a little bit of panic in my decision making that does lead me to stitch up my teammates a little bit. But the act at the end, which is like the most outrageous thing you will see, was actually a complete and utter disaster. An accident, I mean, it was a disaster, but it was also a complete accident. And it'll be very hard to convince you of that, because I've looked back on the footage, and yeah, it looks awful. So here we go, it's the Rancid Abattoir, Cold Wind Farm, and I'm David. As you can see, I'm running Iron Will, Sprint Burst, Bond, and Borrowed Time. My microphone was actually on for the live thing there. So yeah, see a little totem to start with and decide it should go. It's not glowing, but it can go anyway. We'll get a little bit of action taking place. Everyone running. So, you know, I feel like here I'm going to go in and I'm going to try and do something. You know, I'm going to get the rescue. That's my plan. So I come in, get in the heartbeat, try to stay out of sight. Don't do a great job of it. He obviously catches sight of me there, and then I'm on the chase. But my teammate from the left here comes in to rescue at that point. So that, obviously, I was just going to use Shack to loop, but I get away. But obviously, it leads to a situation where the killer goes back down into the basement. Looked awful, but you can see that he wasn't moving. He moved at the same time as I went for the shack, and there you go. So, feeling bad, I go and join on the generator here. Get a little heal up. Thank you. And on we go. And it's kind of all that situation that has happened for these two other players has been the result of me going through there, really. So they're still not away from the basement, really. And here's my second indiscretion. I've obviously got a sprint burst, which puts me ahead nicely here. And then I want to turn left, sandbag her a little bit, and boom. And again, that's just two people running in the same direction. You know, and me just being that little bit faster due to sprint burst, and you can hear me laughing there a little bit, because now I'm just thinking I'm feeling like the biggest troll in the world by this point, even though in both cases they weren't really, you know, conscious things that I was trying to do. It gets worse though. My final act in this match is just shocking. Oh no, I forgot about this as well. This is gonna turn into a disaster. So I go for the save. Obviously I have borrowed time, but I rescue her just before the demigorgon comes out of his portal. So he ends up not only downing her, but then I run him to the two people on the gen, put them in all sorts of difficulty as well. So it is just like literally such a terrible performance by me at this point. And well, it gets no better, to be fair. Well, it doesn't get any worse from this point in the sense of me stitching people up, except for the final act, I think. I mean, just seeing that triggered off another thing that I'd done. Jeez. But here I sort of like am feeling bad. I want to get the rescue. I know I'm spotted. I know I do have borrowed time, so I go for the 1-for-1 here. I know I'll get away with the borrowed time. Luckily, then Gordon doesn't sort of like tunnel and comes back and hooks me. So I kind of feel like a little bit better after that. A little bit like I've atoned for some of my sin. It's good. Look like someone's coming to rescue me. Then the Gordon's moved off. I get like a nice rescue and heal up straight from the hook. And this is actually going to be the player that I so badly troll, or so it appears later. So apologies to you, Edel Wheelzo. I'm not sure if that's how you say your name. Edel Wizo. So here we go, this is us working together. Obviously form a bit of a bond here. I'll do the portal, we get on this gen together. Little does she know the horrors of what's about to come. And we get that done without incident. Again, I want to try and move in to get a save, get in the heartbeat. There's barbecue and chili. Have a look here, I see the killer going off. Beauty of Bond is it saves me from having to go in. I can see the rescue's about to happen. So I break off to see, check on the gen, forgetting that I'd done it earlier. Decide now to go in group heal. Again, trying to let altruism pay back some of my earlier deeds. Gen to be finished, decide to commit to this. And this is where the scam happens. You can see that I'm getting called here by the player. I'm so focused on sealing this portal that she joins in. Then she puts a key down. I pick it up. I want to heal her. I'm so focused on healing her. I haven't noticed the hatch. Look at the hatch. The hatch that she goes and stands on now. And I'm just thinking, like, what the hell are you doing? I did not see the hatch, that's all I can say in my defence. So I now have her key, and I'm running away from the hatch. Which, goodness only knows what she was thinking at this point. Or what he was thinking and obviously now I'm looking for the hatch. And I'm thinking, you know, I didn't know really why that been given the key, and I've just like literally legged it from that person as well, and they go down, you know, and I even hide in a locker and let them just die. Oh, I am like literally the worst person ever. And they're gonna die on hook here, and I get some question marks just before I get back round to the hatch via PSN messages from said player, and it's only when I get back to the hatch do I realise the magnitude of what I've done. So I was going to follow the killer that way, see, I'm still like none the wiser. Then I'm thinking, no, the killer's going that way, I'm going to go the other way. I thought he came back because he knew where the hatch was, so I wanted to sort of like just, you know, obviously stay out of sight and then nip in the hatch. And obviously I get the symbol that the hatch has been closed. And at the moment I'm still feeling, you know, just why I would think that player just gave me the key, I don't know, you know, like as if they just assumed they was going to die because they was on last hook or whatever. I'm still blissfully unaware until I step into here and see the hatch, and at that point I'm getting question marks coming, like what the hell were you doing? And the footage looks awful. It does look like I really did stitch up the player. I am really sorry for that, by the way, but it does make for a pretty entertaining video. You can hear the message coming in there, just pinging. So really sorry about that. So that's how to like really stitch up your teammates, unintentionally, but to stitch them up nevertheless. So a big apology to you, my man.